Yo, gamers! I was hoping yesterday we would get another relic from the ascension tier, probably the last one we're getting, and we just got a machine. Like the one thing I wished was like a gameplay altering relic, and we got it, man. We got it. We got a machine. We got the specialist relic today. Grants the Elder Essence of Finality amulet. This is an item. This is essentially a League's version of the Essence of Finality that's already in the game. I already gave a quick rundown in the combat video about the Essence of Finality, but essentially it's a best in slot necklace that combines the protection prayer boost and the soul split healing boost from the Amulet of Souls and the Reaper Amulet's accuracy. The accuracy doesn't really matter if you have a combat relic, but for your other 3 styles it will. It combines those effects, has some higher base stats, and you can store a special attack. To store a special attack, you usually use the special attack item on the amulet that destroys it, and now whenever you use the active ability from the Essence of Finality, it will cause that special attack. If you want another special attack, usually you would have to use a new item that destroys it and also completely deletes the previous item. So it's usually an item that you can't, especially if the spec weapon is expensive, you can't really swap it out too much. But the Elder Essence of Finality from this relic actually has a menu. Whenever you're in the bank, you can go through the menu and you can select any special attack that you want. This is such an insane feature, like you don't even know. If you get this, like for example, I'm gonna most likely play Mage. The last item I would probably get is the Fractured Staff of Armadale, which has an insane spec that whenever you activate it, every time you crit, you echo a basic attack as well. That's an insane amount of damage, but it would be one of the last upgrades I'd get. But if I have this relic, I can just select the Fractured Staff of Armadale special attack and start farming the special attack with the special attack. Same with melee, for example. You don't necessarily have to go to Talos, because you could get the Zeros Gold Sword that you would get from Talos, which gives you a temporary damage increase that is weaker than Berserk, but you can use it outside of Berserk. And you can just get that spec without having to do Talos. And there's other like skips, like you don't have to do Talos with range, because you can just put an SGB in there. Like it allows you to skip at least one grind, if not temporarily, like for the entire game. I would probably, if I were you, temporarily skip it, still get the item and put like another spec in there. But you can just swap it whenever you want. So this also means you basically have a special attack dump for any combat style. It is way too good. Well, the second effect that it says on the list is at the bank you can swap the special attack. We already talked about it. That is probably what makes it super insane. Every 15 seconds your next special attack will not consume any adrenaline. This is probably really nice for newer players. I feel like most endgame players, especially with Magic, because Tsunami is very cheap if you spell swap, I won't struggle with it too much. But the fact that you just every 15 seconds you get a free spec, it's gonna save you a lot if you do it well. Like for example for Magic specifically, if you land that on your FSOA spec, that means 50% adrenaline that you don't need to spend. So you can immediately start dumping your other abilities, for example. And even if you don't think about it. With melee, also Dragon Claws, 50% adrenaline usually. That means you can get 4 free Dragon Claws per minute, essentially. You can even swap out your Kill spec, because that's a big nuke. Also 50% adrenaline. And all of them are for free. It's kind of crazy. Just allows you to immediately do another spec. That's pretty awesome. And the last one, that probably makes it the best one. The special attacks deal 50% more damage. Like, what's not to love? Like, you're gonna hit 30s all the time. I still hope that there's like a little passive somewhere in the trees that will increase your max hit, because currently the hit cap is 30,000 damage. Hopefully we get something that buffs it, because we're gonna hit the hit cap. I did a little bit of testing. I'll throw it on the screen. I didn't test ranged, because I'm not really a ranger and I'm not planning to do it in a league. So I also did not test necro, because necromancy is a relatively new style and it does not have a dumping special attack. What do I mean with a dumping special attack? It's usually a special attack that deals a lot of damage, is at least somewhat efficient with adrenaline, and it has no cooldown. Meaning you can just, whenever you have too much adrenaline, like the Dragon Claws, like the Ivan's Blast, you have 50% too much adrenaline, you just press the button, boom, that adrenaline's gone, you do a big hit, right? And if you get double adrenaline, and you can even get Natural Instinct in there for 4 times adrenaline, you're gonna press this EOF button a lot. And every time you press that button, you get 50% more damage than normal. Yeah, I did a bit of testing. First I did Magic. I specifically used the Ivan's Blast. I decided not to do the Guthix Blast because it's just slightly weaker. And without, like outside of the leagues, I do 13 to 15k damage if I'm not critting. So if you would plus 50% that would be like 22,000 damage. So that's pretty nice. And if Ivan's Blast crits, it hits 22 to 23k damage. At 50% we're going over 30k, so if the hit cap doesn't go up, Ivan's Blast caps out. For melee I did some testing with Best in Slot setup and the Dragon Claw spec. If I didn't crit, my first hit at 10k. I also tested it with a Roar. It didn't crit. It boosts the damage of your next hit, meaning the first hit of the class did a 21k. That would mean that like the first hit would also go over 30k with a Roar, and that's not even critting. Because with crits, I got 16 to 17k damage, so that would end up in the high 20s. So, without the Roar, melee specs don't necessarily hit cap, but I think you're still gonna see a lot of 30s. Like, honestly, this is a crazy relic. Yeah, for the last part where I make my plan, this definitely wins above Ascension. The last relic needs to be really strong to take its place as well. I don't think it will. I wouldn't be surprised if that's sort of... in old school you always had sort of the spec relic. You had, generally speaking, sort of a passive damage spec or relic, and that would be the book in this case. And then you would have the thing that would revive you when you're dead and you do a big damage blast. I wouldn't be surprised if we get that as well. And then I'll definitely take this one, because like if you know how to dump all the extra adrenaline here, you're gonna do so much damage. So that's probably my plan. If you're going for the Invention relic, it might be slightly anti-synergistic, because you have access to the components for an EOF really easily, Essence of Finality. So getting the free one might be less strong, but you still have to get the specs then all yourself, so I don't know. I think my pick is gonna be Specialist, and we'll see about the last relic in this tier, but I think I'm set. Anyways, thanks for watching guys, see you later.